Welcome to the Court of Bookish Queens, a podcast where mother, daughter, and intruder dive headfirst into the world of romantasy, sharing our unfiltered thoughts, bold opinions, and theories so wild they might need legal representation.
I'm Juliet. I'm the daughter, romantasy addict, and CEO of Falling for Fictional Men.
I'm Helen, the mother, trained legal counsel, romantasy lover, and fully here for the drama.
And I'm Melissa, the intruder, uninvited romantasy novice, but oh, do I have opinions. So listeners, adjust your crowns. And remember, in this court, chaos isn't just welcome, it's the dress code. So with that, court is now in session. Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's episode, where we will be covering chapters 11 through 27 in House of Flame and Shadows, CC3. Before we dive into the episode, listen closely to our content warning. While we are focusing our discussions on chapters 11 through 27 in Book 3, we will be bringing in themes, foreshadowing, and lore from across the series. So yes, this episode is spoiler central for the entirety of the Crescent City series. However, these deep dives do not have spoilers for the rest of Sarah J. Maas's series, except at the end of some episodes, which we will make sure to give you a big spoiler warning beforehand. So if you haven't read the entirety of the Maasverse, you can leave the episode when we give our spoiler warning, or you can stick around and listen to ACOTAR and Throne of Glass callouts. Last thing before we jump into the Crescent City episode, if you're loving being part of the courts, if you want more content, then please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and listen to us on Spotify. Or why not all of them? With that, let's get into it.
So we previously discussed Bryce, Azriel, and Nesta in our last episode. So our main topics for today are Hunt gets his lightning taken away. So sad. We get some shocking news about the Harpy, and Ithan strikes a deal with the Viper Queen. So let's start with Hunt, Ruhn, Lidia, that whole mess. So right when Hunt and Bakshin chew off Ruhn's hand so they can escape. Also, just want to say that I was so disturbed by that I kind of skimmed it so you guys can fill in the gaps. But right as they are at the end of chewing off his hand, in an effort to escape the dungeon, Irithys comes in with the hammer and the hawk. And ultimately, the bright hand, Irithys, takes some of Hunt's lightning away. And this all happens while Lidia finds out that the Harpy may be resurrected at the hands of the Asteri.
That will really throw a wrench in the works.
Yeah.
Her cover will be completely blown.
Mm-hmm. So what do we think about this potential resurrection of the Harpy?
Problematic beyond belief.
I actually think that that's why Irithys wanted the lightning from Hunt, because he needs something to. I'm just guessing, but I think
like doctors.
Maybe I'm guessing it because of
Doctors have
exactly.
Whatever that's called, the paddles. Clear.
Yeah.
Wasn't it also in Frankenstein? That he needed lightning to give it a.
Because that was going to be my next question. What is he going to do with this lightning? But I guess now we have the answer to both potentially.
I don't know. It's just a guess.
Yeah? As soon as I read that, I'm like, they're using that lightning to restart the Harpy's heart. There's no question about it.
That is so bad for us. That is so bad.
I'm like, what are the chances maybe the Harpy doesn't remember? I'm just clinging on to hope.
That maybe the lightning brings her back to life, but also has memory washing effect.
Yeah, a bit of amnesia, not a bad thing,
At this point, Lidia needs all the help she can get, that's for sure.
Wait, can I just back up a second? The whole biting off of the hands, it being Ruhn's suggestion, what a badass. Oh, just love him. Well, so good.
He said it would grow back. Is that how their healing powers work? So I guess that's how probably the angel's wings grow back. Okay.
Yeah. But I also wanted to bring that up. I don't think Hunt did any chewing off. I think
No.
only
Well,
Bakshin
that's why
did.
I said I wanted
Correct.
you guys to fill in the gaps because I skimmed that.
Yeah. You d- yeah,
Yeah.
basically, Ruhn asked Hunt to do it, but Hunt was having a hard time thinking that he could do this, and
Mhm.
Bakshin said, I'll do it.
He volunteered as tribute. Oh, Bakshin, like it made me like him. Not that I didn't, like I always thought he was out there looking out for them, but what a guy. But also Ruhn, you guys can't tell me that you don't love Ruhn after that. He sacrificed his own limb for the people.
Yeah, and
No, he's definitely better in
I
my eyes.
love Ruhn.
no, because no. But wait,
What do you
actually,
know?
wait. I was just gonna say he could have like talked to Lydia, but he did actually, didn't he?
Yes, he
He
did.
did,
He
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
He's
talking to her
starting to
now,
come
like he's
around.
listening her out. That's why I kept on saying you guys are being too harsh. It's only human to have a bad reaction. Like at the end, he's still, now he's talking to her and everything. But back to the hand. Like he's so, he just sacrifices himself for his friend.
Do explain this to me though. I didn't really understand why he wanted his hand chopped off. How is that going to make it easier? Do you
For
guys
the
get
range of
that?
motion. It was for the range of motion. So Ruhn and Hunt and Bakshin were all like this, and he was swinging, right? To get to I think it was like some sort of, I don't know what you want to call
Like
it.
a shelf of weapons or something.
Yeah. But if he only has one hand tied, he has more range to swing and to grab.
I
Well, not
see.
grab. He won't have a hand, but he'll have more range of
Exactly.
motion.
That was my thing. Like, how is he going to grab it when he has no hand? It didn't seem like a good plan to me.
He's amazing.
Sure.
Okay, he's finally coming around talking to Lydia too, but he's still holding back.
He's not he
Which is normal. Okay, so we're gonna give our spoiler warning early in this episode because there are a couple of things that we want to discuss around some characters. So here it is, spoiler warning.
Okay, so the reason for all of this hesitation against Rude is like he's starting to give me Aedion vibes, where Aedion kind of pushed Lysandra out of the tent. That's when I started not liking him.
Yep, completely agree. And Ruhn didn't just like come around. He didn't. He came around for one conversation. He was very standoffish, very cold, and then the walls went straight back up. No. Nope. And no, wait, I have one more thing to say, okay? Because I remember this on page 162. I didn't even have to go and look at my notes. On page 162, Ruhn says, he straight up says to himself, am I just being like, do I need to grow up and just like, yes, you need to grow up, bro.
Yeah, but that's 100%. And that's what I think I alluded to in a couple episodes. Like, yeah, he does have some growing, but why are we okay with having morally gray characters in Rhys and loving them? But then in Ruhn, it's like, how dare he do this? Or Aedion, how dare Aedion throw Lysandra out? It's like,
I think I know why.
but
I think
why?
I know why. So it's come more and more to my attention that Lydia has had such a sad life. Such a sad life. She was separated at her mother from a young age, sent to be with her cruel father, forced to be the Asteri's pet, and she's also forced to be the Hammer's enslaved partner.
Lysandra wasn't with her father.
I'm talking about Lydia.
Oh,
Lydia.
sorry. I thought you were talking about Lysandra. Okay, sorry.
And then when Lydia finally has an ally slash lover in Ruhn, he is so disgusted that they don't even talk anymore. That is such a sad life. I have that's why I'm so against Ruhn. I'm sorry. I can't. I can't.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to accept him again because of this rejection. He has no empathy at all, just like a lot of the Fae.
Adian. Adian was the same. And I still don't know if I forgive Adian. Even though I wanted Lysandra and Adian to be together, I don't think I ever forgave him.
I never did. I was
Thank
like,
you.
Lysandra, there's a red flag there. Why are you going
Big
ahead with
red
this?
flag.
But with Ruhn, I don't hate him, I just think that he's very immature, and I'm still gonna give him the chance to grow up.
Look,
So I'm okay.
I'll give Ruhn the chance too, but I don't like him right now. I am mad at him.
I think it's ridiculous, but we shall go on.
Okay, so we have a new character in CC3 that we haven't talked about before, even though she did show up in the first chapters of the book. I call her Irithys. I don't know how to say her name, but she's the Queen of Sprites. She is a new, strong character. What do we think of her addition to the story at this point? What do we think of her?
Love
Oh my
her.
God. I love her. And as soon as she came on, she brightened the book for me. I'm like, another sprite that is powerful, strong, intelligent, moral. Ah, I love her. Among all the darkness, she's a sprite of light.
There has been no sprite that I have not loved. All the sprites brighten my day. They are just so joyful. Love them. But one of the differences with Irithys than from the other three, Sasa, the ones that are with Flynn, is that she's a queen and she is
Exactly.
regal and noble and she truly embodies it. Oh, it was just so lovely to see when Lidia asked her to burn the hag and she flat out refused. But then the power, and when the hag no longer had the shackles, she showed her power. She wasn't afraid of it. Oh, I just love her so much.
And not just that, Lydia didn't say anything to her. She was smart enough to figure it out that when she is freed and the hag is like, I'm gonna go tell now, right? Lydia turns to her and says, Sprite,
Your
and
call.
she I
Yeah, so
love
good.
that.
I just have a side note. After reading this book, I think hag is my favorite word. It's my favorite word. What an awesome word. You hag. I just love it. Do we have anything else to say about Lydia and the sprite?
Oh, also one more thing. Lydia is so amazingly brave in what she's doing. I mean, I think she's probably the bravest of all the female characters we've ever seen here. Maybe with the exception of Aelin. Um,
I was just, yeah, okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was gonna say.
So I think she's one of the bravest because she is in the worst possible position.
Mm-hmm.
And here, what she's doing is really sacrificing her own health and well being by not just having killed the harpy, but asking the sprite to burn her. And make it convincing enough, regardless of how much pain it would have, so that she could get the plan going. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Hind.
Yeah, Lydia is courage. Yeah.
Do we think her plan includes her getting out of the palace? Or is it just about the boys getting out?
I
Oh,
hadn't even thought about
so
that.
obviously, yeah, I did think about it. I thought she probably isn't thinking of leaving herself because she's getting the sprite to burn her so she could stay. If she was going to go away, she wouldn't need to, right? So
Yeah.
I'm thinking she still wants to be the eye inside the palace.
Yeah, so originally I had thought that her plan always included her leaving, but then with the harpy of it all, she had to adjust, and now it's not Lydia also leaving. However, with the harpy in play, how can Lydia not leave? She's gonna be discovered. So,
Yeah, the other thing is that I think her plan cannot include Bryce's, right? Because I think her plan could not be the destruction of the Asteri in the same way. So where would she escape to?
yeah, I think Lydia's plan is solely about getting the boys out. Like, I don't think it includes the Asteri's downfall yet. I think her main focus is getting them out.
I love her.
No comment.
Okay.
She's fine. Like, I have no issues with her, but I don't know. I think she's a great actress. So, how do I actually know which one is her mask and which one isn't? But I don't hate her. I truly don't. I think you guys are on the team Lydia and then not Ruhn, and I'm like Ruhn, and I don't feel bad that he necessarily ignored Lydia because Lydia did some bad things.
If we can shift gears into talking about Ithan, Therion, the Vipe, just that whole situation.
What is the Vipe's deal, man? What does she want? I'm sitting there thinking, does she have a master plan herself?
Why? Just,
Well, let's discuss what happens first before we get into
yeah.
it.
Okay.
So we have Therion, we have Ithan, we have the Sprites, we have Flynn and Declan all stuck with the Vipe, and Ithan cuts a deal with the Viper Queen to have one fight to get them out of there and release Therion from his bond to her.
And Ithan does not know who he is going to be fighting in this private fight. And so I want to know why you guys think the Vipe pits Ithan and Sigrid together. And do we...
was such a good, it was so good.
But
like that, I didn't expect it, but it was so good.
Do we think that they're still mates? Because I was under the impression that mates can't really, not can't, but like they don't harm each other. They just can't do it. And the fact that they
No,
even
obviously
could
not.
fight, yeah. And
Yeah,
which
obviously not.
is why I said in one of our last episodes that I saw no chemistry.
Same here.
You did say that. Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know. I don't know how that works. Yeah, maybe they weren't made.
But why did the Vipe pit them together? And what happened to Ariadne the dragon? Like, I don't want, like...
Oh, it was so
I know.
good that she put them together, though. Let's be real. Like, what drama. Oh, it was so amazing just on a drama scale.
Okay, I understand that you say that, but I felt the complete opposite. I was like, what? No.
Oh, yeah, I felt like that too. But
Oh, okay.
But the drama level, like, was so good of it.
It's so interesting that they introduced Sigrid as this new character, and then suddenly, nope. It's like so Game of Thrones style. It's like, oh, actually, don't get attached to this character. They're gonna be gone in the next chapter.
You know what, though? Because I always imagined Ithan becoming an alpha. And there was always an alpha already.
Yeah.
So then when Sigrid came in, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess Ithan really isn't gonna be an alpha. So maybe this is his story and like how he becomes
Ithan is an alpha.
So yeah, so we mean like the head, because Ithan is an alpha,
but he's not the head of a pack.
He's just not acting. Yeah, he's not a head of a pack.
He's an alpha without a pack.
Ithan was, yeah.
I didn't know that.
And the reason why Sigrid was important here was because she was the heir. She was another heir next to what's her name? The mother? Yeah. So Sabine was not the only heir. Now there was one more heir, and Ithan was going to support that and somehow be able to get rid of Sabine. So I don't understand what the Viper Queen's deal is. What is she doing? Does she have a master plan of some sort? Is she working for the Asteri, like dividing and making things more difficult?
Does the Viper Queen have some type of alliance with Sabine that we don't know about?
Ithan has basically wrecked himself. His wolf nature is such that he should be protecting the pack and protecting all wolves. And now what does he see himself as? He sees himself as a wrecker, right? He's messed everything up, so much so that he cannot be himself and he leaves the group. He goes back to Crescent City.
Which is so sad.
He's destroyed.
Which is so sad because everything Ithan did was to get them out of the Viper Queen and into the boat so that they can go and save Ruhn and Hunt and everybody. And then when he finally gets what he wants, he can't even take that step onto the boat. He's destroyed. And what really, really hurts is that he wasn't really fighting Sigrid. He was dodging, he was doing everything he could, and that fatal punch was not meant to be fatal. It was an accident. So I feel so bad for him. Ithan just has not had a break. He lost his brother. He lost the girl that he loved. He lost his pack. He's lost it all. And he lost the hope that was offered to him. So I don't know what's going to happen to him, but I hope good things. I really do.
Me too.
Why do we think that Ithan, because, we mentioned that at the dock he doesn't get on the boat. He turns into his wolf form and just runs back to the city. Like, where do we think he's going?
I don't know. I would have my revenge on the Vipe if I was Ethan. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know. I just have a feeling like maybe he's going to the prime. I really don't know, but it's something so important that he decided that this is secondary and what he set out to do is more important.
Mm.
And also, I
So,
think he's punishing himself, so he's putting himself in
mm.
danger.
And this is yet another reason why Therion is the worst.
But do we actually think Sigrid is dead?
Don't they say that Sigrid's throat was ripped out, but you're saying that
She was beheaded.
you're saying is there a way that Sigrid can be resurrected like the Harpy was or something like
Like the
that?
Harpy. Yeah.
Oh, do we think that maybe the astronomer will somehow swoop in and like fix Sigrid?
I don't know the legality of it, but I don't know. I got that feeling of like maybe I just don't want her to be dead, but I got a feeling of like, is she really? I don't know. She could be actually 100% not with us, but so that listeners concludes part 1 of CC3. And it seems like we have a lot of questions, but a lot more to go. So stay tuned for the rest. With that, court is now adjourned.